Yes, people, this is your girl Aleisha Lee, and welcome back to another episode of Aleisha Lee Reviews. We are reviewing Top Boy Season 3, Episode 2, The Tour. Let's get straight into this. We start the episode off with seeing some of the locals outside of their homes. We can also see some builders are boarding up some homes, so it looks like the eviction process has started in Summer House. We then cut to some graffiti art on the wall of Mandy and Jack, and that graffiti artwork is just a reminder of the work that they put in ensuring that Kieran was not taken by immigration. Next, we see Sully and Dushane finally meet up at the cafe, and that is when Sully lets him know what has been going on. Sully lets Dushane know about what happened to Emilio and his family. So remember what I said last episode, the way that Sully was ringing down that phone, I said, listen, Emilio ain't about anymore. That's one thing I do know. If they done that to the Moroccans, this is the work of the Irish. Hearing that it weren't just Emilio, but his whole family as well. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Now, Sully thinks that somehow Dushane has something to do with everything that's going on. And he says to him, listen, if you're pulling strings behind the scenes, just remember that if I don't make no money and if I fail, so do you. You fail as well and you don't get no money. And that's when Sully goes on to talk about the McGees and says that they mentioned Tasha by name. And this is where things are getting sticky because he says that they all need to go. Dushane says all of this is not his problem. Since Sully is the top boy now, this sounds like it's all on him. Dushane makes it very clear and he says to Sully, you're forgetting something. I ain't nothing like you. I said, ow. Dushane was just not trying to have it. He's like, I'm loyal. Sully's just looking at him like, yeah. That encounter between them two was tense. Sully and Dushane. Next, we see Sully leave the cafe and he goes to speak to Jack. Jack lets Sully know what's been going on with Lauryn and asks if she is needed because she's going to have to spend some time with Lauryn. She explains to Sully that Lauryn has been on that dark and it's not really a good look. She needs to spend some time with her and just straighten things out. Sully says to Jack, do what you need to do and yeah, just get things sorted with Lauryn. Next, we see Stefan. He's getting ready to head out and that's when he picks up Jamie's chain and decides to put it on. I think he wants to feel closer to his brother. He sees Erin. Erin asks Stefan, do you know what school is? Stefan's like, do you know what not going to school is? Live life a bit. They have a little kiki and a joke and Stefan then makes his way to the gym. At the gym, Stefan sees Sai and they start having a chat about everything that's been going on since Jamie has passed, and Sai asks Stefan if he knows who done it. Stefan denies and says he doesn't know. Sai mentions that the streets are saying that it's Sully, but I don't think Stefan is ready to admit just yet he knows exactly who done it, and of course, yes, it was Sully. Jack and Lauryn are at a yoga class, and during the class Lauryn comes to the realization that it's not for her. Jack says, come on, try and stick with it, and Lauryn is like, is this for me or is it for you? Because if this is for me, I don't want to do it. Let's go. Next, we see they are in the cafe, and that's when Jack lets her know that she needs to stick with the yoga. She can clearly see that Lauryn has been going through some struggles since having the baby and obviously everything that's gone on with Curtis. So she's thinking about activities that will help her get through this time. Lauryn is not interested in the yoga. It's definitely not for her. And that is when Jack confronts her with the dark, and she puts that straight on the table and asks Lauryn, you know, what's that? Lauryn denies all allegations and says she don't know what that is whilst going to pick it up. So clearly she is aware that the game is up and Jack is fully aware of what she has been doing. Dushane goes to visit Shelley at the shop and he also sees Mandy there. It's not a pleasant chat that he gives Mandy at all, and Dushane is quite threatening. He obviously knows that she was at the forefront of what happened with Kieran and the immigration police. Obviously Dushane doesn't need any more heat coming onto Summer House, so he lets her know, just stop what you're doing, stop all of that. And you know, there's obviously some tension that's always been there because she's fully aware of how Dushane and Sully's actions affect the wider community. Dushane was just not having it with Mandy, and neither was she, to be fair. She was making sure she was standing her ground, saying things like, didn't you want to see your friend out? And Dushane makes it clear that Kieran is not his mate and it's not in his best interest that police are always around there. And Mandy's like, you know, obviously it wouldn't be, because all you think about is yourself. That's when Shelly comes out and asks Mandy to get things prepared, which diffuses the situation in that moment. As Dushane and Shelly leave, she asks him what was all that about, and he lets it be known that it's not in his best interest, especially with everything that's been going on, that police are around. He says that Mandy needs to go, and that's when Shelly lets him know that if they plan to open up more shops, they're gonna need her. Sully meets with Johnny to discuss business. Johnny makes it clear that he needs to see the operation before any deliveries get going, and obviously Sully is reluctant, but he knows in order for him to get this food, he's gonna have to show Johnny what he wants to see. At the nail shop, Shelly and the shop owner are negotiating, and Dushane looks so proud of Shelly because she's going in with her harsh negotiation. She's letting it be known this is her final offer, and Dushane's just in the back looking like, yeah, that's my babes, look at her, yeah. Once they leave, Shelly asks Dushane if he will be able to get the money to her within 7 days, and Dushane says to her, don't worry about it, he's going to go and see life now, so there's no need to worry, that money will be there. Next, we see Stefan is rolling with Sai for the day, and he takes him back to meet the rest of the crew. That is where they do a toast for Jamie, remembering their lost soldier, and we see a rap from one of the crew members. That's when Steph gets a message from Erin, and you can just see the smiling from ear to ear when he gets that message. Dushane goes to visit Life, and he is met by a staff member that lets him know that she is not there. She tells him he can't go back there. He tells her, shut up, man, and he is back there looking for Life, and as he can see, she is nowhere to be found. It appears that Life has done a runner, so you know what that means. His money's gone. His money's gone. You could see from the previous episode, Life, she looked like she was going to run for her life because that okay, and now you see she's cleaned up shop. She has done a runner. Sully shows Johnny the operation, and he likes the setup. He's happy with the CCTV as well, and I'm not gonna lie, I was quite impressed with that myself. So he was pleased with what he saw, and I think that gave him the confidence to get the shipments started. Dushane visits Jeffrey, and Dushane, he's absolutely livid. Now, Jeffrey knows this, and he can see it in Dushane's eyes. Dushane tells Jeffrey, you're going to find them. You're going to look for them, and you're going to find them. I.e., you're going to bring back my money. Yeah, this is all on you, Jeffrey. And you can tell Jeffrey is petrified. Dushane lets Jeffrey know if he doesn't do this, he ain't going to live to see the weekend. Good luck, Jeffrey. You're really going to need it. We go back to Jack and Lauryn, and they are discussing baby names. Lauryn has 2 days to get the baby registered and think of a name. Then we see that they are off to Shelly's. Lauryn's having a nice time. She's getting her nails done. She also gets a job because Shelly lets her know about the expansion that she is planning, and Lauryn is so happy. She's having a good time. Johnny and Sully end up at a retirement home where Johnny's uncle is staying. Johnny says to Sully in Irish, sit down, and Sully's like, I'd rather stand up in English. I said, nah, Sully. Sully couldn't understand the point of them being there, but Johnny explained this is where they can run the operation, a network of retirement homes where they can run business easily. Johnny lets his uncle know that him and his son will be coming on Friday to celebrate his birthday, and this is right in front of Sully. Sully is looking like he's conjuring up a plan. He knows exactly where they're going to be on Friday. Johnny takes Sully to another part of the home where he has Billy. Yes, Billy from our previous episode, who flipped on Sully and let the McGees know the deal, he has been captured by Johnny. Sully now is like, you're so excited, why don't you do the job? Johnny gets cracking, and that is when Sully spots a bag. Now this bag probably contains the food. So Sully's brain is doing a lot of thinking right now. Dushane is on the hunt for Lizzie and Life. He goes to see his lawyer and lets him know the situation. The lawyer explains that he does know someone that could look into this for him, but it will cost him. Dushane is willing to do whatever it takes, and he tells his lawyer to line it up. Next, we see Erin has arrived at the rave that she planned to meet Stefan at earlier in the day, and they're chilling, they're having a good time. They go to get drinks, and that is when some guys approach Stefan and take his chain, which you know is Jamie's. Of course, this doesn't sit right with Stefan. He goes to let Sai and the crew know what is going on, and that is when they go to look for this gang. Stefan and the crew finally catch up with these guys, and things go to 100 from the jump. That is where we see Sai lets them know that they've taken something, and that's when Steph comes out and reclaims his things. As they are about to leave, that's when one of them makes a sly comment, and Steph takes the bat from one of his crew members and starts going crazy. Sai was looking at Steph like, yes, my son. Yeah, like looking at him, so proud of him, because Steph, he had his time and he had to let them know he ain't the one or the two. Later, we see Sully and Dushane finally meet up after Dushane asked him earlier in the day to speak. He lets him know about Life and Lizzie. They've done a runner. He also mentions Jack as well, asking if Sully has an issue with it, and Sully lets him know what can he say? He finds out that Sully did leave a couple 100,000 with Life, and Dushane says you're lucky because Dushane has left basically everything he has with her. Dushane asks Sully if he has dealt with the Irish issue, and Sully lets him know that he's on the case. Dushane makes it clear that he needs to be there as well. When it comes to his money, nothing can come up short and he needs to be there. Sully says to him he will have a think about it. Lauryn decides to name the baby Jack. As she is having a moment and preparing to have a bath, she is having some time with her son and decides to name the baby after Jack. It's a nice moment, but unfortunately, when Jack and Bex get home, they discover the baby crying, and when Jax goes to the bathroom, she sees that Lauryn has drowned. The drugs are found beside her, and that is how the episode ends. This episode gave us a bit more of a moment to catch up after everything that happened in the first episode, plus to have that kind of ending as well. We ended the last episode with seeing Lauryn's situation, and now this episode ends with the results of that. Clearly, Jack is going to be having a hard time in the next few episodes because of this. Dushane, he's having a difficult time now, having to come to the realization that everything he has is gone, and now he's relying on Jeffrey to find these women, get all of his money back. We're gonna see how that turns out. Sully is now thinking of a plan. You see that he has been exposed a bit more to Johnny's operation, and I think Johnny is going to find that this is a big mistake on his part. You can't make threats about his child and expect everything to be okay. I'm going to give this episode 7 boys out of 10. I think this episode was just one that was a bit more calm, but it also gave us a bit more in the storyline. I think it was just an episode to build up for what's to come, so I'm going to give it a 7. It wasn't as hype as last week's episode, but it was still a good episode nonetheless. But yes, people, that is it for this review. This was Top Boy Season 3, Episode 2, The Tour. On the next episode of Aleisha Lee Reviews, as we continue to enjoy our Top Boy September, we will review Season 3, Episode 3, Birthday Party. So make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you are notified when that episode is up. So yeah, I will catch you in the next Top Boy review. Dunno, boy. People don't know, I just want to enjoy my day.
Don't live your life, girl.